Distinguished ministers, dear entrepreneurs and dear friends of Poland and Estonia. We are about to start the Estonian-Polish Virtual Business Forum and Matchmaking. Today's event is streamed via YouTube in workshop platform and the recording will remain publicly accessible after the event. Please let me briefly introduce your agenda, which you can also see on the right side of a screen. Forum will be opened by the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Estonia, Ms. Eva-Maria Liimets, and the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Poland, Mr. Zbigniew Rau. After high-level statements, we hear an inspiring message from Mr. Artur Kuczmowski, board member at Polish-Estonian Chamber of Commerce. Then we will proceed to our smart panels of experts and entrepreneurs, and I will introduce our moderators before each panel. Next to each panel title in the agenda, you see question and answer button, so please think along and send your questions. After panel discussions, the public part of the forum will be over, and after a short coffee break, we move on to the private B2B and B2G meetings in the matchmaking platform, link to which you can also find on the right corner of your screen. Information and contact details of companies and institutions participating you can find in the expo area. If you do not have a pre-booked meeting, you are very welcome to set up meetings at the matchmaking area. And now we start, and we have a great opportunity to listen to Estonian and Polish foreign ministers' opening addresses. Please, Minister Liimets, first the floor is yours.
Thank you. Honorable Minister, dear Zbigniew, dear entrepreneurs, dear participants of today's event. It is my great pleasure to meet you here virtually and open with you today's business forum where companies from Estonia and Poland share innovative solutions for sustainable and secure digital society. Dear friends of Poland and Estonia, dear participants, I am glad that we have not allowed the pandemic to intimidate us. This challenging situation has rather encouraged us to start new forms of cooperation like this business forum, and to revive old ones like Polish-Estonian Chamber of Commerce. I am confident that from this intensified cooperation between companies, many new ideas will emerge. This year we celebrate 100 years of diplomatic relations. Today's event is part of these celebrations and serves as a useful platform to look at the future. Our bilateral economic relations are solid and wide-ranging, but have a lot of potential for further development. Estonia and Poland might be different in size, but we both are big in smart ideas and technological innovations. The broad and diverse focus of today's forum shows that Estonia and Poland have many areas of business cooperation. Poland and Estonia are very close partners in the 3Cs initiative, with the aim to strengthen connectivity in the Central and Eastern European region. We are grateful for Poland's support during last year when Estonia hosted the 5th 3C Summit and Web Forum. We are both committed to keep the momentum and further consolidate the initiative to yield practical results. The current crisis has vividly demonstrated the growing importance of digital cooperation. In the EU level, Estonia and Poland share the same view that our companies need a digital single market for innovation and cross-border online services without unnecessary barriers. We thank Poland for supporting the digital declaration co-initiated by Estonia and Singapore and for participating at the Global Business Summit organized by Estonia and United Arab Emirates. Both events contributed to the closing of digital divide and fighting the pandemic with digital solutions. Dear participants, Estonia has several intensively used practical digital solutions that address challenges arising in modern, rapidly evolving urban environments, and that helped us to cope with pandemic, to provide digital public services and run businesses remotely. These solutions can be implemented all over the world, like, for example, the smart vaccination certificate, VaccineGuard, from Estonian company GuardTime, who is also present today at the panel discussion. This globally valid privacy-preserving digital vaccination certificate is being integrated into Estonian patient e-health portal, serving efficiently as the digital proof of vaccination for every vaccinated Estonian. However, in the current situation, when new digital solutions are developed fast-tracked And on a large scale, particular attention must be paid to cybersecurity considerations. We need to continue to exchange best practices and views to boost our national and collective cyber resilience. Estonia and Poland are both strong voices on the international arena, such as in the United Nations, on questions related to protecting a free, open, stable, and secure cyberspace. Dear participants, there is a big demand of new cross-border digital solutions in our societies. I am confident that today's virtual business forum opens up new cooperation opportunities for Polish and Estonian entrepreneurs and institutions. We are proud of the 100 years of our close relations, and we look with hope and confidence to the future. I thank you all for your active contribution, and may this beautiful springtime bring us new energy and many successes of cooperation. And now, dear Minister, I would like to give you the floor. Please, dear Zbigniew.
Madam Minister, dear Eva, ladies and gentlemen, it's my great pleasure to welcome you at the Polish-Estonian Virtual Business Forum. It is one of many occasions to celebrate the 100th anniversary of diplomatic relations between our countries. It is very telling that the event devoted to smart cooperation can only take place online these days. Still, Polish-Estonian relations are a living proof that working from home does not mean working less effectively. For instance, during the pandemic year 2020, our trade not only did not shrink, but rose by 4%, and much of it thanks to digital economy. Indeed, some of the biggest companies in Poland and Estonia are already digital. And most of them, such as the Polish game maker CD Projekt or the Estonian TransferWise, make their biggest profits on global, not local markets. Today, we will have the opportunity to exchange views on how to make our economies even smarter. And hopefully, we will put that knowledge into practice. Ladies and gentlemen, our trade turnover reaches almost 1.4 billion euros. Polish products can be found in Estonian shops. Polish ferries service Estonian passengers, and Polish airlines in the past invested in Estonian airlines. At the same time, over 60 Estonian companies invested more than 156 million euros in Poland. Yet, there is still untapped potential in our economic cooperation. One of the most promising areas is the Free Seas Initiative, where both our countries could become leaders of the Free Seas digital highway. We both know that making our economies smarter will allow our countries to globally punch above our weight. The information and communications technology sector already brings up to 7% of Estonian GDP. Similarly, for Poland, this sector adds 9% to our economy, employing over 430,000 people in more than 60,000 companies. I hope that today we will learn how much more Poles and Estonians have in common. For instance, we share a lot of proverbs. Some of my favorites are Tark ipip teiste vigadest. The wise learns from the mistakes of others. And Kes hiljaks jeb, se ilma jab. He who is late will lose. I think both of them are relevant to our cooperation. We still have a long way ahead. We need to fight the economic downturn, but also make sure that smart technology will make the pandemic obstacles less painful. I hope today's discussions will bring us one step closer to that goal. Thank you.
Thank you, Zbigniew, and over to you, Tina.
We thank Honorable Minister Limets and Minister Raub for their inspirational statements. And now we welcome Mr. Artur Kuczmowski, board member at Polish-Estonian Chamber of Commerce and long-standing friend of Estonia. Please, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Tina. Dear Minister Limets, Ministry Raub, dear companies and participants, I hope that you're staying safe and healthy in these difficult times. Today, I also officially joined the recovered squad, so I'm more than happy being here with you. And this is my first day of work, so also please forgive my voice. As Tina mentioned, my name is Artur Kuczmowski. I'm Polish, but I'm sharing my lifetime between two great countries, between two great nations, between Poland and Estonia. Today, I was asked to take the floor as one of the presidents of the Polish-Estonian Chamber of Commerce. We are an organization of entrepreneurs representing various companies, mostly of the Estonian market, but as well, there is a rapidly growing group of the firm interested in entering the Polish market. As a chamber, we can say in the business terminology that we are on the very seed phase. Our official launch took place in October 2020 in Tallinn. Great inauguration took place during this 3C summit, which was mentioned by the Ministry Raub, with the presence of the Polish presidents and official representatives from the both countries. From that moment, it took us a while to structure ourselves, but right now we can say that we are at the stage of launching our activity. We do have plans to officially open our office in Warsaw during the Estonian president visit in May. Another social personal meeting of our members is planned for the first part of June and will take place in Estonia. Of course, the difficult COVID situation, restriction in the both countries doesn't supply either our meetings or our activity. In our dreams, we want a Polish-Estonian Chamber of Commerce to be business bridge between our two great countries. This is why if you are interested in strengthening your presence on the both market, you should definitely join our chamber. What we do as a chamber? The main goal is to support our members and build the Polish-Estonian business society. Of course, we're opening doors in various institutions and arranging negotiation and contacting business partners from the both countries. But personally, I believe that the best way to build and grow the business is the way based on the personal relations. You can notice the quality change in our relations in the last few years. What caused this change? This cause was changed by the fresh, dynamic ambassadors from the both countries. Martin Roger, Estonian ambassador in Poland, and Grzegorz Kozłowski, Polish ambassador in Estonia, supported by amazing economic consuls, Natalia and Marcin. This is how we should build our future economy based on the relations and our understanding of our needs. This forum is another brick in building the economy between our both countries. I know Polish people, I know Estonian, and I'm more than sure that we would rather meet together during an official business mixer with a glass of saku or żywiec in our hand. But I hope that these times will come soon. But today, I wish you excellent presentations, fruitful business meetings, and prospective new contact. If you ever any need help, if you need any help in the future, we as a chamber, we are here. We're ready to support your business on each field. So I wish you excellent conference, excellent meeting, and excellent business between Poland and Estonia, because there is still a lot to do. There is still big market need. Thank you very much and hope to see you in person soon.
Thank you, Arthur, for being enthusiastic as always. We wish to the Polish-Estonian Chamber of Commerce every success. And now, ladies and gentlemen, We have 3 short but extremely interesting smart panels ahead of us. First discusses how Estonia and Poland create smart space to live. I give the floor and lead to the moderator, Mr. Rene Tõnisson, founder and board member of Smart City Lab. Please, Mr. Tõnisson, the floor is yours.
Meeting today. My name is Rene Tõnisson and I'm the founder and board member of Smart City Cluster in Estonia, which consists of about 30 members, both companies and universities interested in developing new smart city related services and products. Apart from this, I'm also founder and investor in Build It Accelerator, and we have invested into 70 startups, including around 20 smart city related startups, which some of them coming also from Poland. So, I have already a long cooperation with Polish startups and investors as well. And today we will have a panel discussion on smart city related topics. And I would like to first introduce our 5 panelists, 5 companies, 3 from Estonia and 2 from Poland. Please, Paula, shortly introduce yourself and your company and your products.
Hello, my name is Paula. I'm from Auvatech. And Auvatech is a company from Estonia that specializes in the development and manufacturing of autonomous vehicles. We develop lightweight and compact level 4 shuttles for last mile use case, and they are electric, fit up to 8 passengers, and we offer a full scope service that entails the vehicles, their integration to different environments, and also the fleet management. We are keen to work with different partners all over the world, so we are looking for partners in Poland as well that might have bottlenecks in mobility that could be solved with autonomous last mile mobility.
Thank you, Paula. And then next I would ask Kaspar to take the floor.
Hello to everyone. My name is Kaspar Anton from Ivy Technologies, and we are making the road infrastructure management sustainable by enabling the digital data flow for road consultants and asset managers with our AI-powered feature detection platform. We are already working with several Polish companies, but we are looking for partners, clients who are having road management or city asset management or similar analytical software platform development as their product. Thank you.
Echo, at least from my side. Perhaps I can ask everybody to mute your microphones. I'm not sure whether this helps, but I cannot hear almost anything unless our technical support tells us something else. So, while you're not speaking, please mute yourself, and let's continue then with the third participant, Juhan from Estonia.
Hello, I'm Juhan Bukk from I Told You. And I Told You is a company that predicts future sales transactions and gives insight into customers' behavior for logistics companies. And we do use AI solutions to do that. We have also developed a solution to gather information, because data for us is the most important thing, and we need smart data in order to predict the future. What we do predict is customers' behaviors, churn, etc. We've done it in Estonia, Germany, and Finland. And in Poland, we are looking for resellers and partners.
Thank you, Juhan. And I was informed that it seems that only panelists have echo, so we have to somehow pair with it. Apparently, all the other people listening in don't have this crazy echo. So let's continue then with Pavel.
Yeah, hello. That's really very difficult to understand each other. I hope right now it will be better.
Oh, now it's fixed somehow. No echo
somehow?
anymore.
Okay, thanks a lot for that opportunity, Mr. Moderator. Hello everybody. My name is Paweł Hansdorfer from ASECO Group, and I'm representing international business. And ASECO is the largest IT company in the Central and Eastern Europe. Among many different skills and areas of expertise, we are since last over a decade, we are concentrating on delivering smart cities projects, smart city solutions to our customers, which are municipal organizations or cities itself. We concentrate on three main pillars, actually. One of them is classical support for paperless local administration process. Secondly, it's a whole suite for managing and support for a mass transit, parking, and ecology solution for the city, so all the traffic management. And the third, very important, is also an asset management, which we are developing that not only locally in Poland, but also in Western Europe, mainly connected to the lighting management, assets like water, like energy, like gas. And it leads to a significant savings of the costs from the city's perspective. One of our flagship references is the city of Vienna, which is using our software to actually manage all the lighting systems in the city. From the smart cities perspective, we delivered to the largest municipal organization in Silesia the system for integrated mass transport. Now we are aiming and preparing ourselves for delivering to the three cities close to Estonia: Gdańsk, Sopot, and Gdynia. So that's a lot of opportunities, lot of to be developed, and lot to be innovated as well, because it's a huge innovation process in that area, not only just going paperless. Thank you very much.
Last but not least, Marius.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mariusz Eistmont, and I represent company LUG from Poland. We are the biggest Polish manufacturer of the professional lighting systems. We are established on the 1989. It means more than 30 years. We introduced for the market the best possible lighting solutions. And of course, today we are concentrated about the smart lighting, which give us the huge opportunity to grow. Why? Because we believe that smart city start from smart lighting. If we connect all existing poles in the city, we can create some kind of network for communication. And this is the way how we want to speed up process of making cities smart. With our 30 years of the experience, 3 factories, international operation on the over than 70 markets, and with our more than 700 employees, we are able to deliver to you all kinds of services which is necessary to create really smart city. And our luminaires illuminate highways, cities, parks, buildings. And we are looking for the partners in Estonia which are involved on the public lighting, because we believe that together we can create really better, brighter light. Thank you.
Much, and thank you everybody for the short introductions. And I would like now to open the floor for some short discussion. And as both ministers touched up on the impact of Corona, but not only in problematic sense, but also in sense of creating new opportunities and giving stimulus for new developments. And that's why I wanted to ask you first, that what has been the impact of coronavirus to your business? Has it been, so to say, opportunity for new growth? Has it created serious problems and lost markets? Or what has been your experience? Do you also see some sort of new trends emerging because of Corona in your particular business area? So whoever wants to go first, I will give floor to anybody, but there is no particular order. So please feel free to, please go ahead. I think you are muted. We cannot hear you. You have to unmute your...
Apologies for that.
Good.
Now it should be okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
So I would answer this way, that I don't know it's a new trend, but the trend is definitely accelerating. And then in Ivy, we are working to make the digital data more accessible and more used for the planning and managing of the city virtual space. And with the Corona, I think that since everything goes more closed and everything goes more kind of handling it in digital, it's accelerating the growth of the need for these kind of solutions that are enabling kind of virtual management of the real physical world. And then that's where our company is the strongest by partnering up these asset management and analytical platforms and enabling them constant flow of any digital data of the physical world that is necessary. So it's accelerating our growth, definitely. Thanks.
Thank you. Yes, please.
Thank you. You know, the coronavirus, of course, affected our business. And because we are the lighting company concentrated on any kind of radiation, we also create a special system for air disinfection, UVC systems, which help us to go smoothly through the Corona crisis. And our company was never stopped during the Corona crisis. This is one of the positive effects that with our technology was able to protect our people and also to create the system which work for the hospitals, for the kindergarten, for the schools. It means we create totally new business for us, but based on our knowledge and technology. From other side, what we see that municipality now, they first open for online meeting instead of direct meetings, which of course help us to save time and money. This is clear. Secondly, they really know that in the time when, for example, sending the service through the borders is very difficult, if we can in any way to control any kind of systems remotely from other place, it's really helpful and it speed up any kind of problem fixing. And now the city, when we manage the lighting from our cloud with our systems, are very happy because, first of all, a lot of problems we can solve without physical presence on site. But if the physical presence due to the real technical problem is necessary, our people go directly for the point with the problem and they know exactly what is necessary to replace, to fix. And this is the huge advantage of the smart city, that we can work online from one side, from other side, we can go for the exact point to solve problems immediately. We don't need to have the people on the street to be sure that our luminaires are working is another advantage. And especially today, when the public safety is very important, this is advantage of the smart cities. And we believe that through the corona, people now understand that remote action, online action are really important for them. And they should have any kind of system which help in this. And this is our job of all of our company, to deliver for the municipality any kind of system which can help them for the management of the city on the good way. But of course, I believe that there is the huge challenge for everybody, how to create homogeneous environment instead of verticals which are only connected somehow. And this is a big challenge for us, I believe.
Thank you so much. Yes, Paula, please.
Yes, well, definitely, as with everybody, the pandemic has affected us as well in some sort. For example, we have had to postpone some of the opportunities for showcasing our solution internationally. But I would also say that it has had some upsides. For example, we have had the time to fine-tune our technology and solution. And regardless of the worldwide pandemic, we managed to have some successful international operating projects in Greece and Finland, in addition to Estonia, regardless the situation, which went very successfully, and the feedback was great. So I would say that there are always upsides as well. And regarding the keywords for smart cities, I think the main keywords still remain reducing the emissions and making the urban space a place for people instead of cars and parking lots only. And this is something we at Auotech are focused on, that the connected and automated mobility alongside with the smart infrastructure solutions, some of which are also present here in the panel today, they have a way to pitch in for the future of the smart cities. And this helps to make their cityscapes greener and a cozy environment, and also work towards their environmental goals.
Thank you, Paula. Anybody else? Yes, please.
So, from our perspective, so maybe an IT business or a classical IT delivery is the most beneficial during the pandemic. And I will maybe split a gossip. The 2020 was the best in our 30 years of history of operations. But nevertheless, what we observe is digitalization is not the question. Maybe we will consider it. Maybe we will think about it in the future of plans. It's a basic needs right now. So the cities has to organize themselves to actually operate totally remotely from their staff, from the administration perspective, and also how to connect and discuss with the citizens or the inhabitants of the city, how to communicate with them, how to distribute the information, how to guide the people, how to maintain the distance, and so on and so on. So there actually came the information in place. So a lot of discussions either to digitalize or not, go to paperless or not, actually has stopped. So a lot of projects are ongoing. With our biggest challenge was how to deliver the trainings to the already implemented systems, how we will implement the people to the actually new processes, to the new way of thinking, because it's also going paperless and having everything remotely was really difficult. So how to deliver the remote trainings, and that was a big challenge for us. Actually, it took us 3 months to organize ourselves in a different means of virtual platforms, building the virtual teams, sharing the information with our customers in the city's organization, and so on and so on. So a lesson learned was that at the beginning we all have to teach ourselves a totally different communication. So actually, when during the meetings, it was also this part of a non-verbal, showing some diagrams, discussion, and there was let's say a normal handling with man to man. Actually, going remotely, the message, the information we have to present and give to our party was really need to be reshaped, I would say. So that was the biggest challenge for us. Actually, the IT was ready, so it wasn't a big technological issue. Actually, the issue was of a scale, especially in some areas where we have a lot of people counting in millions, like in Silesia, for example. And then there was a question of the scalability of the system and actually durability, but that was on, let's say, a technical things to be solved, and that's our lesson. So we hope that this digitalization will not lose its momentum. Definitely, there is a lot of experience also in Estonia about that. And let's see what will be the outcome in the future. In our opinion, more and more we will move to the smart city 3.0 or 4.0, as it is discussed. So going totally contactless, digital, and discussion on let's say remote electronical basis with entities of the city and the government. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. So, who else we have to share experience? Who hasn't been able to say it's
yes,
Johan,
it's me, Johan. And our experience has been that the pandemic situation, of course, boosted most of the IT companies or digitalization companies' businesses. And my new Polish friend, digitalization professional, already mentioned most of the things that changed. And from our perspective, as we deal with smart data, it comes more and more understandable for the businesses and people working there that phone calls, emails, and messages are not smart data. We need to gather the data in a structured way, and then we can use the different databases and aggregate them together in order to make decisions and see ahead what waits us there. So far, most of the businesses gathered information from the past and saw what happened in the past. And more companies want to see the next week, what's going to happen next week. And that's what we do. And of course, meeting people has been really hard for the last year. But the companies, for example, from Germany, huge German companies have trusted their foreseeing and understanding the future to us, and we have been very successful in order to see and predict the future of them. And it all comes with the hard work of purifying the data that you have. So all the companies should think more and more about gathering the data and having it machine readable forms, etc., and in order to do something with the data. So of course, pandemic situation hasn't ended yet, but hopefully it will end soon, and we will have new meetings and in Warsaw or in the other cities with Polish friends as well. And during that time, stay healthy.
Thank you, Johan. And as we are running out of our time, I will reformulate my second question in a way that you can give it to answer like 1 or 2 words. And you know this old joke that Luxembourg Prime Minister is visiting China. And when addressing his speech, he says that I'm a strong believer in Luxembourg-Chinese cooperation, because if you add up the population of China and Luxembourg, you will get almost a quarter of world population. So if I can reformulate my questions, that why are you a firm believer of Estonian-Polish or Polish-Estonian cooperation, and what would you like to get out of it if you just use one or two words? What would you like to get out of this Polish-Estonian cooperation if it happens for your company?
Maybe
Yes?
I will start.
Yeah.
I will start because it's, from my point of view, it's very easy. Yes. We both countries have very high level of IT people, smart people, and smart people can create smart city. That's all.
Very good. So, the other participants, why do you want to cooperate with Estonia and Poland respectively if you have to express it in two words? Yes?
I will go next. As I have a lot of Polish friends, I know that Estonians and Polish people are rather similar, and they want to achieve. Of course, smart people want to achieve something. So need for achievement is the thing.
Thank you, Johan. Yes, you had a...
Yeah, I would follow up that one. Already are working with several Polish companies, and what I have found is quite a lot of similarities in our cultures. So it has helped very fast to understand each other, and I think we are both. The differences are in the size, but we are both working on the same visual future that we are towering our attention for. So. Similarities bring us definitely together, and I definitely love Polish people and going to Poland. Thanks.
Thank you. Yes.
Okay, so I will say two words: innovative development. I see that we can, in many ways, we can develop and compete with our competitors in other European and actually globally present places with actually two things: our quality and the innovation.
Great.
That's actually that's the all.
And last but not least, Paula.
My two words would be innovative solutions, and I would add a third one, which is today, and that's it.
Good. Thank you so much, Paula. And I would also like to take the opportunities and to thank all the 5 panelists for this short but hopefully fruitful conversation, as well as to wish everybody good luck with setting up their Estonian-Polish cooperation and partnership. So thank you for this panel, and back to the moderator.
Thank you, Mr. Tõnisson, and all the panelists for this forward-looking discussion. And especially this last part of it. Our second panel addresses an extremely important topic, as was emphasized earlier by the ministers, the cybersecurity. The panel, Estonia and Poland Go Smart in Cyberspace, is moderated by Ms. Isabella Albrecht, Chair of Kosciuszko Institute and President of the European Cybersecurity Forum, CyberSec. Please, you have the floor.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I share the hope which was expressed by the ASECO representative that digitization will not lose its momentum, but at the same time it means that we need to up our game in cybersecurity. So welcome to the panel discussion entitled Estonia and Poland Go Smart in Cyberspace, featuring Lisa Past, Head of Cybersecurity Business Development at Cybernetica, Katarzyna Berbec, Strategy and Development Director, Business Developer at ICSec, Silver Kelk, Business Development and Partnerships Manager at GuardTime, and Sasha Farbach, Cybersecurity Evangelist at Fudo Security. I would like to thank organizers and patrons, Estonian and Polish Ministries of Foreign Affairs, for inviting me to moderate this panel discussion. It has always been my dream to make Poland a place where we will innovate and create solutions to secure our networks and systems against adversarial actions. And eventually last year, the Kościuszko Institute established Cyber Made in Poland cluster. We enjoy the support from the Polish MFA and looking forward to signing the partnership agreement with Polish Ministry of Digital Affairs within the Prime Minister Chancellery. The cluster is gathering today 47 cybersecurity companies and still counting. Coming back to the title and the scope of today's panel discussion, I do think that what should be considered as going smart in cyberspace is to treat new cyber threats also as an opportunity to develop countries' new industry and business specialization, while at the same time strengthening countries' security profile. And this smart approach was introduced in Estonia more than a decade ago, when back in 2007, key online services have been interrupted due to the cyber attack originated in Russia. And that was the time when we all felt in this region that this geopolitical wind of change has started to blow again from the east. And it has started to blow also in cyberspace. And in the aftermath, Estonia decided to rethink its security vulnerabilities to keep secure not only its physical borders, but also digital ones. It has taken institutional and legal changes, as well as provided systemic support for the ICT industry, including cybersecurity startups and companies. And we can see the great benefits of that approach with the examples of Estonian companies going not only smart in cyberspace, but also going global with their cybersecurity solutions. And the same ambition is shared by Polish cybersecurity companies. Since the next decades or even century of our diplomatic relations will be definitely affected by cyber incidents, we should concentrate even more on building cyber resilience and cyber capabilities together. It takes collaboration within NATO, EU, free seas, but also bilaterally by sharing information, experience, best practices, policy goals, and support each other businesses. And here I would like to start by asking Lisa and Sasha the first question: what cyber threats do your company's solutions help to tackle? And why are these threats posing security challenges, particularly in our geography? Also, you can introduce us more to the profiles of your companies. Lisa, the floor is yours first.
Thank you so much. And I guess, given how the first panel went, a blink if you can hear me. And the story doesn't really go even just to 2007, but the tracks of the Estonian secure digital society were laid in the 90s already, as we were transitioning from a Soviet bureaucracy, from an occupation era, to a free, economically free and rule of law based democratic society. So cybernetic has been along for that ride the whole way, being probably the most research and development and research and innovation intense technology company in the region that builds mission critical systems. And frankly, my colleagues seem to be incapable of building insecure systems. They just cannot do it. So Isabella, you laid out the reality of what we're dealing with really quite well in your opening remarks. And part of that is that there's no 100% security. If we want to enjoy these hugely digital ways of life, we cannot have the illusion of 100% security. And I would also add that we cannot focus on specific threats, but rather think about this digital ecosystem that we're living within, particularly in the context of accelerated digital transition that brought many countries and governments or parts of governance ahead by a decade in some parts of the world as part of COVID. So the main really experience from Cybernetic and Estonia is that, yes, we can penetration test systems, and we worked with baseline security standards, compiling the new Estonian one amongst others. And we do some pretty cutting edge security research, including in cryptography. But you cannot think of security in isolation from innovation, from the business, from the economic system or society or policy, but rather you have to build whatever it is that you're building as a secure ecosystem. And that's really where both the Estonian story and the Cybernetica story shine, which is that given the geopolitics and given the demographics of Estonia, let alone our famously social and warm wish to talk to other persons, unless it's really unavoidable, there's two fundamental facilitators of the secure ecosystems. One of them is a digital identity. And my colleague Max will be part of the business to business meetings, and he works particularly with digital identity. And the second is a universal secure data exchange layer, so that regardless of what the services or what the digital tools are that you want to employ, you know that the people are who they are. And that's really regardless of whether you're going for a zero trust approach or whether you're going for something that's more based on perimeter defenses. And secondly, that there is a security exchange layer so that both integrity, availability, and confidentiality of data as exchanges hands is ensured. So for us, it's an ecosystem question, not a particular threat or solution question.
Thank you so much, Lisa. It is really interesting point of view. Indeed, it is about more systemic approach. Sasha, now over to you, please.
Right, well, thank you everyone. Hello, welcome, dzień dobry. I think it's tere in Estonian. I have to pardon my Estonian, it's a bit rusty. I can only resonate very much what's just been said here by Lisa and also by Isabella. I think the key points we're really covering here is that we will never really have 100% security. Also, that security cannot be limited by geography, really, or by any vertical in particular. So I totally agree that there has to be a layered structure. Lisa already mentioned zero trust. So even when, to those who are watching, maybe not fully clued in, zero trust about very much removing, once you're inside of something, giving only the most limited privilege and access that you need. Cybersecurity is a wide, huge subject, which we won't be able to cover, unfortunately, today in this panel. So I'll just go specifically to what Fudo Security does. And we're a proud Polish, European, and global company, started here, right here in Poland, and have straddled the world and now over 30 countries. And the mission is very much about protecting both large and small organizations against privileged user threats. So if you look at all the breaches that are happening around the world, still the majority are coming from external factors, but you still get a significant portion, around, if you look at different reports, 30% are coming from the inside or inside users. So this is still significant because once you have attacks coming from there, you have a lot of credential thefts. And then once you're inside the system, obviously you have a lot of lateral movement possible to go around, to change things. And some of the things that kind of are not really limited just here to this part of the world, but in general, I mean, this can result in intellectual property theft, financial loss, a reputational brand loss. And in some cases, we haven't had it yet, knock on wood, but it does and can endanger life. We had a ransomware attack in Germany last year in October, which very much we could argue the details of that, but that was very much a big red flag that if we don't take care of these threats, that actually this could now endanger life. Right now, thankfully, it's only been financial loss. But it very much touches on every kind of vertical as well. And with Fudo Security as well, we have a very strong connection and reputation built up over years now with the public sector, not only here in Poland, but other governments across Europe. and going across globally. So government and the public sector is definitely very much affected by all this, as well as the finance sector, healthcare, infrastructure, critical infrastructure. We can see just what happened not so long ago in the United States, for instance. So it's very much, there's not just one solution that will fix this. Although there are many parameters, policies, strategy, I'd also add that security has to start from the end user and has to start from the top board. So this has to and will only be effective if everyone across the spectrum is going to work along. And I can also throw some statistics at you, but generally what I want to end with here is that with these kind of security solutions, a lot of talk about threat and destruction, and I think the industry, we conjure and live on this very much. But I think that a lot of these solutions, it's very much about making work more efficient. It's about, in our case, it's about monitoring what's going on in your network, being right there and seeing what's happening, making collaboration easier. So these things go and actually help us as we are now in this current pandemic setting, remote work setup. So anything that can help that, I think, is going to be very beneficial for not just any geography, any nation, but all of us as a global society.
An approach. Remark. The second question, can you share with us, Katarzyna and Silver, your success stories with special emphasis on the collaboration with the public sector? What needs to happen for the public-private cooperation to work in the CE region the way it should? What are the main obstacles you see while cooperating with the public sector? Also, here you can introduce us more to the profiles of your companies, please. Katarzyna, the air is yours.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. It's good to be here. So answering your question, Isabella, we can in fact share our newest success story. This is a message from last week about how the cybersecurity young technological company can increase impact on the market. We were invested last week by state-owned corporate venture capital from oil and gas industry, a very known brand in Poland, and we believe that it will increase our recognition on the market in the industry, not only in Poland, and that through the connection with the corporation and gas industry, we will implement a lot of interesting cybersecurity projects. And our key product, just to explain you, is a new generation intrusion detection system called Scadvance XP, which monitors in real time the network, the internal network. And this is what Sasha mentioned, that the most important thing, and this is in fact a start point for cybersecurity in industry, is monitoring. We call in our sector that seeing is protecting. So the situational awareness of the industrial network is a must, in fact. So this is our first success story. The other success story is related with the energy provider for railway sector. It turned out in the beginning of our cooperation that this company is not able to purchase from the market the intrusion detection system to monitor their network. So thanks to our engineers and flexibility and customization possibility, we were able to develop some small hardware part device that integrates the network, very specific network of the client with our solution. This network was operating on very old and very unique OT protocol. So that's why it was so difficult to find a proper solution. So this was a second success story of our implementation history. We have also some more experiences public sector, especially because our product is designed for critical infrastructure mainly. In general for industry, but critical infrastructure is our priority. So we observe that that the state-owned companies are very focused on legal requirements. This is very important. The legal requirements, especially NIS directive requirements, is something that is motivating this company for to invest in security solutions. So this is very important. Important is also nationality and origins of the technology. That's why I think this is so important when we talk about Polish and Estonian cooperation, that we can perhaps create some local environment and give the comfort for companies obligated to be compliant with NIS directive regulations, give them the comfort of proxy of cybersecurity solution providers, and give the comfort of customization of solution, not only when we talk about languages, but also some interfaces, features, some functionalities, and customization related to the specifics of the industrial network. So these were key observations, and what could be what can be done just to improve the cooperation. I think that first of all, the most important thing is to build a trust. Cybersecurity is a matter of trust, and it's difficult to cooperate in cybersecurity, especially in industry, for long distances. We need to meet, we need to know each other better, we need to create some close relationship in our local environment. And I think that this will be the key success factors. And what you are doing in Instytut Kościuszki, Izabela, is I think one of these this activity, and this is, I think, a very important job that you are doing and that should be done still.
Thank you so much. I can promise you that we will carry on. I'm keeping my fingers crossed for your successes, especially that, keeping our critical infrastructure and industrial control systems secure is of most importance. And I would like to now give the floor to Silver. Please introduce your company, and also if you could answer my question regarding the public-private cooperation. Thank you.
Yeah. Good afternoon. Thank you. So CarTime also has a lot of clients from the public sector, but I will still go with Estonia as the biggest success story, because this is a success story that still keeps on giving. You mentioned the 2007 and the cyber attacks. This was also the time when CarTime was founded, just due to that attack, and Estonia immediately became our core client, development partner, and a very good reference upon which we have built our following success. But even today, we receive so much support from Estonian government in terms of diplomatic support, basically business development, with all our new solutions. So basically everything that CarTime builds today, the biggest projects, we basically all of them validate with Estonia. We develop them with Estonia, and this is a two-way relationship. They gain a lot from this as well. So I think the second part of your question, what are those obstacles or potential barriers? I look at it from the corporate perspective or the enterprise perspective. What I've seen in Estonia is that as good as it is to have such very close and friendly government partner, it also becomes a little bit a trap for those companies. You build your business models and your company culture so much around this one core partnership or customer relationship that it might become limiting in terms of scaling and replicating those same models elsewhere. So we have been trying to sell e-Estonia as a concept and all the bits and pieces together with this globally. And we have had some success with this, but I think this market is eventually limiting. I strongly believe that the same companies, the same technology, the same people, they would be very successful globally if they had better and more dynamic business models. So this is something I would like to keep in mind when cooperating with such very close public sector partner. There's a lot to gain, but you need to keep in mind to also develop your business models more broadly, not to stay in that comfort zone that you always have this public sector partner to take anytime you need for some validation.
Very good remarks. Thank you. Since we have run out of the time, I will not be able to ask my last question, which would be, what can we do together to build a strong brand of the Free Seas region as a provider of cutting-edge cybersecurity solutions? But I think that it might be a very good topic to have this conversation organized, for instance, with Polish Estonian Chamber of Commerce, because I think that it is really important. I'm keeping also my fingers crossed for the EU industrial strategy to be released later this month. I hope it will recognize and support EU cybersecurity industry as a focal point to build a secure, digital and green Europe after COVID-19. So thank you so much for your remarks, and as I said, keeping my fingers crossed for your successes, because your successes are our successes. So thank you, and over to moderator. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Albrecht, and all the panelists for this enlightening discussion. And it was really good to hear that you already have concrete plans for future cooperation. And finally, we get to have a little fun and play with drones. Of course, this was just a joke on my part, as drone technology grows tremendously and provides many new smart opportunities in many fields. Panel Estonia and Poland Go Smart in the Air is moderated by Ms. Małgorzata Darowska, Head of Governmental U-Space UAV Program. Please, Ms. Darowska, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon to everyone. And first of all, I would like to say a great thank you to the organizers, to the ministers, to put this topic on the agenda of this important event, because as you will understand from our conversation later on, we are not talking about drones. In fact, we will talk about new era in digital agenda of Poland, of Europe and of the world. And I'm very happy that we will have an opportunity to talk about potential cooperation between Poland and Estonia in this topic. First of all, I would introduce briefly guests of the panel. And I'm very happy that we have representation of so different actors of the new domain of the business. So first of all, I would like to introduce Mr. Vlad Nepuchatov from DFS Estonia. Hello, Vlad. Mr. Arkadiusz Żurek from INTL Robotics, Poland.
Hello, everybody.
Mr. Martin Simon from Marduk Technologies, Estonia.
Hello.
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 Mr. Adam Cudny, representing Farada, Poland.
Hello.
And Mr. Rafał Bednarek, PANSA, Polish Airspace Navigation Services Agency, Poland. So, as a short introduction, because I promised that you will see the complexity of the new dimension of the business focused on drones, I will make a short introduction what we are talking about. So, according to experts, integration of drones into the airspace is not only a revolution for aviation, it is also a harbinger of a revolution in many areas of the economy. According to the estimates of the Polish Economic Institute presented at the beginning of 2019, the implementation of drones can bring benefits of circa 125 billion euro only to the Polish economy. So it's the value of integration for the business. Over the last several years, the revolution has been visible, but comparing to what we are witnessing today, it has been just creeping then. The COVID-19 pandemic has significantly accelerated its dynamics, creating a need for new automated and autonomous tools in the areas where, until now, they may have been seen merely like an interesting experiment. We are dealing with the parallel, simultaneous development of several pillars of the new market, namely digital infrastructure, drones, and services. The theatre for the transformation spurred by the use of drones or UAVs or UAS is low-altitude airspace, previously not commercially used. The combination and convergence of disruptive technologies such as 5G, satellite technologies, increasing computing power have enabled the creation of a digital environment for the new autonomous and precise airspace users and entrusting them with special tasks. Just a few words about Poland, because as it was said, I was involved from the very beginning in the drone program in Poland. We decided to make some priorities in this specific area. So we decided to put a stress on implementing digital infrastructure because Poland is large, as you know, and is very diverse. So if we thought about implementation of drone services, of different business model, we had to be prepared for the growing number of air operations, more autonomous, more automated, and the volume of the operations is growing and growing every day. Especially over the last year, we are seeing what's happening now. And thanks to these priorities, Poland last year, Poland was prized for the digitization of services helping drone operations. According to Eurocontrol, Poland was last year on the first place in digital services for drones and in the second place in the world for readiness for drone operations. And I do hope that this event will start a new conversation between Poland and Estonia and a new platform for cooperation in these aspects as well. So I think that my guests, the guests of the panel, will describe precisely what are the opportunities in this area. And I just wanted to say that at the time when humanity believes in the future on Mars, is it worth investing in technologies that focus primarily on the Earth, or is deployment on Earth is just a step forward Mars? So the first question is I would like to ask to Vlad from DFS. So DFS is focusing on previously military and security technologies. I have a question. If the UAVs is primarily associated with military applications for monitoring and surveillance, what are the benefits of the use of this solution you offer for the customer, for users? And based on your experience, do you notice the evolution of the solution you offer and their new application, especially in civil business?
Okay, thank you so much. I will briefly introduce the company. I understand that we don't have much time because our colleagues on the previous panels kind of extended their time. But anyway, so I represent DevSec Intel Solutions. We focus on designing, developing, and integrating autonomous mobile surveillance systems. They're short range to medium range systems. They're mobile they're AI based. We take so many different unmanned subsystems and we put it into one platform. And those subsystems may include different types of UAVs, drones, unmanned ground sensors, unmanned surveillance towers, etc. With regards to your first question, we try to again, as you had mentioned, the systems become more autonomous and automated. So we try to confirm with those requirements. So our platform encompasses a very limited involvement of humans, therefore reducing the human factor to almost zero. It also provides certain flexibility with regards to integration of other subsystems. So we may say the platform is pretty much agnostic to other subsystems, to other technological tools, including different types of UAVs and drones. Again, considering the current environment, we manufacture or develop the platform that is quite autonomous. Therefore, it shouldn't require much investment in infrastructure or developing additional infrastructure, as well as low maintenance and low low training requirements. That's kind of briefly with regards to the first question. And with regards to the second question, I would say that there is definitely an evolution in this whole spectrum of solutions. The solutions become more smarter, they become more capable based on the development of different energy sources. And of course, for example, we focus mainly on the law enforcement and defense sectors. However, lately we had a project in the environmental protection area. So these military systems, as long as they evolve, they could be efficiently implemented in the commercial and private sectors as well.
Thank you very much. It's very interesting. So it seems that we don't need to look at the drones as a just military tool, but also something which will help the people to protect environment. It's very interesting, and it's something which is very needed right now. Now I'm moving to Mr. Arkadiusz Żurek from INTL Robotics. So the INTL robotics products are different from those of the DFS, but are based on similar logic. What are the application prospects of your products? Do you observe the increased interest in them? What, if yes, what is the cause of this, please?
Hello, everybody. It's a big pleasure for us to possibility to talk about our team. We are quite young company. We are a startup just funded last year ago, and we are mainly focused for designing and implementing innovative solutions for business within broadly understood industry and logistics 4.0. So the drones are part of it. We are also taking care about the robotization and automatization processes in the current challenges which we got in front of us. Among other innovative technologies, we use drones, especially and a photogrammetry technology to create completely new services for logistics and industry and warehouses and even building site construction. What we do, we provide all standard photogrammetric products such as ortho sites, 3D maps, digital terrain modeling, volume measurements, land surveying support, but everything what we doing outside, thanks to drones, we can do inside. So This is supporting logistics operators with inventory inside of the building using this technology. Just imagine you can have a large textile industry, and they have a lot of stuff which is not counted on the pallets, which the goods are lying like a small hill inside of the warehouse. Which measurement you use it to count it? So we actually make it such a cases like this. It was situation from the company Vive Textile Recycling in Poland, but also it's a nice example of the well-known company Geberit from Switzerland. They have 3 factories in Poland, and they're using a lot of bulk material, which is stored also inside of the building. Manual counting and inventory, it's not, unfortunately, it's not very good. It's missing some stuff. It's not accurate, but it contains a lot of human errors. But thanks to using drone inside with the inventory, using photogrammetry, photogrammetry technology, we can count this within 3%, 2% average of the potential errors. So just make small summarization. I don't want to tell you about more cases we doing. This photogrammetry used in the drones allows us to create specialized, dedicated, specific services for extraordinary orders from the customers. Drones are very helpful in that because they are getting images which we cannot make by themselves by the manual perspective. By the perspective from the drones, we can have so much helpful environment to implement this technology of photogrammetry to improve many of current using processes in the companies, increasing the speed of them, increasing efficiency, making high standard of safety for the people, and of course taking care about the quality obtained, the results we are going for. So this is briefly, shortly about us, what we're doing with the drones in ENTL robotics. Of course, this is much more to say, but I don't want to use time of other participants. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So as we can see right now, we have 2 companies doing more or less the same, doing drones, but with such a different application. And there is a difference between flying drones, surveillance, and operational technologies, which is INTL robotics is specializing in. So drones are flying, and the volume of operations is rising. So the development of drone applications also it means also a new threats because of potential illegal use of unmanned aerial vehicles. I have a question to Simon, to Martin Simon from Marduk Technologies, specializing in counter drone technologies. What challenges do you see, and what is the response you offer to the humanity? I would say, conducting your business. Can you see some new threats? How is your approach, and how you estimate the business potential for your company?
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to speak here, and it's an excellent question. So as we see from previous 2 speakers, that there are many ways where drones can be used to automate for good. So these are the 95% of good drones, but there's let's say a small percentage of bad drones that can actually cause a lot of harm. So our company is focusing on military applications where we protect from enemy drones, as well as for these civil drones of a small percentage who intend to cause harm or to do, let's say, business intelligence theft and so on. So Marduk Technologies is an AI and computer vision company. We offer through our counter-UAS platform Shark, a multi-layered approach to detecting, assessing, and also targeting drones. Our system comprises of a combination of sensors starting from radar, RF detection, electro-optics, and with effectors like jammer, drone damaging laser, and so on. So we are also quite a new company. We have been awarded the Estonian MOD grant to develop this product, as there is great need on defense side for this. We have already been a part of NATO cyber exercises, and the system has been in use at the Ämari NATO airbase. I think the best way to answer this new challenge is actually preparation and thinking ahead. So taking from the analogy of military, where UAVs have been for decades in use, the disruption that we have seen in Ukraine and Nagorno-Karabakh conflict is just only emerging, and the question is why. Of course, the answer is quite obvious. It's because it's accessible, the manufacturing costs are down, but also, as Vlad pointed out earlier, that there is increasing autonomous capabilities for these drones to carry out these automated complex missions. So if we think about the state-of-the-art unmanned aerial vehicles such as Predator, it has been used for a long time, but the real issues are coming from very clever ways to take advantage of these autonomous drones in tactical missions. So as in military, so in civil illegal activities such as smuggling, terrorism, business intelligence theft, and other crime, these autonomous drones are already used. So not only in terrorist attacks, but also we have observed clients having drones retrieve their business secrets. Thieves have been using drones to conduct robberies of estates. During smuggling, drones are used to carry over the border high-value contraband, human trafficking to determine where the border guards are, and so on. So there's a lot of applications where bad guys are using drones to do bad things, this is why we are working on an approach where we can eliminate as much of the threat as possible. So when the drones become autonomous, you cannot take them down using radio signal, which has been the industry standard for the past decades. But now we need to have new methods, and Marduk is as such using electro-optics to visually detect and assess what kind of a drone it is, and then take it down. So it is really up to us if we think ahead or think back retrospectively when these disasters have happened. So I think one of the key questions as well, and I put it out there for all to answer basically, is that in many places of the world, you just cannot take down a drone. So the question is that do we need to pass laws in order to where the drones can actually fly? Will it be like a high layer of in the air traffic, such as Malta is testing at the moment? I believe in Poland you also have some very interesting plans to test out how to utilize drones in everyday life. But either way, we see that our market as counter UAS, saving our clients from bad drones or bad guys, our market is growing quite rapidly, even more rapidly than the actual drone market itself. Thank you.
So we heard some very good examples of traditional use and counter drones. Now I would like to move to something new, I would say, especially to myself, to Farada, to unmanned aerial transport, which is relatively new but very dynamically developing application of drones. In 2020, The first test of drone transport in urban areas took place in Poland. I have a question to Mr. Adam Cudny. Isn't it too early for drone transport in urban areas? What can we expect? When can we expect the first operational deployments in Europe?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Again, my name is Adam Cudny. I'll just briefly introduce our group, which is Farada Group. I'm the chair of supervisory board. And what is Farada? Farada is basically a drone UAV integrator. We have a saying inside our company that we can do everything with respect to drones. I'm sure we cannot do everything, but we can very much specialize in ourselves in this. We are very much complementary to our other guests because we are the oldest, probably the oldest company on the market. We start investing in drones, in UAVs back close to 10 years ago, where we set up an avatar pilot school. That was really long ago. Just imagine that we've got between 2,000 or 3,000 alumni from that school. Then we moved to design and manufacture and just recently to services. And of course, we are our market rushes so quickly that we really cannot keep up with the pace. So going back to the question, because as I see, we have a very little window of time. I think the first part of this question, whether this is too early or not, it's not too early. I mean, look around ourselves. We are having a business forum, right, through visual aids. And of course, the world is changing so rapidly right now that this is possible. Now, where has it that drone market, the UAV market, is close to $100 billion per 4 or 5 years. So that is really one of the largest estimates in the economy. I know that Poland and Estonia are extensively developing their own markets and regulations. I can only say for Poland, we got this 10th place around the world right now. Of course, Singapore being the first one. So the environment in Poland, and I'm sure Estonia is very specific. We got brilliant engineers. Both nations have brilliant engineers, and that is something which is of our great advantage to the world. And of course, so the first part of the question, it's not too early. It's that we are not following the world. We are keeping up with the pace, and we can do marvelous things there. Now, if we go to some of the deployments that are being scheduled towards end of the year, so we are talking about 2021. I hope that this is going to be Q4 overall. And there will be many developments, beginning with this transportation things that Małgosia referred to, which is connected with medical and overall the agglomerational transportation issues, so municipal services, if you like. Then we got those agriculture, which is a great sector for us, for UAVs. And with that respect, although our flagship deployment is that 15 types of different platforms are being right now used Europe-wide, and they are being designed by our engineers either fully or partially. We are trying to stay away from military, from law enforcement, and in services inside buildings. So, with that respect, we're 100% complementary with our other guests. And imagine that, for example, agriculture and construction as a whole, it's there will be 4 or 5 deployments. I think we're going to end those with the end of December. So starting from measurement, guarding the construction sites, the cryptography being used there, because the companies try to stay away from each other, and that is something that also has an issue of cybersecurity and things. So yes, I hope that if those sort of forums will be delivered in future, we'll share the good news after those employments being summarized and the results being put on a table. So thank you for having me, and then I won't take much longer.
Thank you very much. So as we can hear, sky is not the limit, and as we in terms of the use of drone, if we are talking about the sky, I would ask the last question, but not least, to Rafał Bednarek from PANSA. PANSA is a Polish Aerospace Navigation Services Agency. How PANSA sees its role in a new area of the economy? How will unmanned traffic develop, and what response does PANSA have? How it to fit all or concerned users? How to ensure that the user of the sky, civilians, special forces, or military operation will operate smartly in the air? Rafał?
Thank you very much, and good afternoon to everyone. I think we're running out of time, so I'll try to be quick. Generally, we are the ANSP. I mean, hearing all of you talk about your product, your developments, well, you're right, because what we do as ANSP, as PANSA, is create the environment for you to operate. And I dare to say I'm currently a leader in, at least in our part of the world, in terms of readiness of the environment for life. As we know, UTM is a whole new and diverse sector of economy, and it is a new player in the airspace that we included and integrated into the traditional traffic. Therefore, from our perspective, it is absolute that the role of ANSPs and the mandate to manage the unmanned traffic, just as we manage the manned traffic, should be reconfirmed. So this is one of the things. As you know, Poland is actually very advanced in task to create the space environment. We have developed and then implemented a PANSA UTM, which is an unmanned traffic management system developed by us, and first, I believe, in the world that's been certified for operational use. And we are currently still working on this product, developing it. But this is, of course, nothing that would be in any way compared to the products that you produce. It is just a part of the environment that actually fulfills the full picture for you. So again, just as I said, we are creating the environment for you and being the best, let's say, environment for you to test and prepare your products. Of course, on top of, just as Małgosia said in her starting remarks, on top of all the things that are needed to create the environment for you to be able to further develop, to be able to use the potentials of the market, the other pillars of the use space environment, just as a traffic and monitoring technology and infrastructure, which is, I believe, not ready in any country yet. But we are working on it here in Poland, on implementing it, on finding an operator who could be responsible creating and implementing the solutions on that. Mature regulations, as you know, we are in the transition period, I would say, in terms of regulations, especially here in Poland, where we had regulations fairly mature before, and now we are adjusting to the new frames set by the European Union and mature market. And that's again great to see you, hear about your products, because it seems that that is coming by. So I guess that'd be all from my side. There's a lot of work that we can do together, because I can say it only as being partners with you, and I invite you all to cooperate to take advantage of all the opportunities that we present as Poland, as INSP, which is focusing greatly on the development of UTM and its environment, and wish all the best with your products.
Thank you, Rafał, very much. Thank you very much to all of you. And I, every time after such a presentation, I have a feeling that people who are specializing in drones and in digital infrastructure cannot explain precisely to the public what they are dealing with. But I do hope that this diversity of speakers and your speeches help to understand a little bit the complexity of and the potential of the new market. And I do hope that also our colleague discussing the cybersecurity and smart city will find something here for them to explore and to work together. And I wish you all the best. And I do hope that this event will help you to start conversation. And I encourage you to get in touch during the business meeting and later on. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Darowska, and all the panelists for this interesting information. And obviously, this topic needs much more time for discussion. But honored ministers, dear participants, this brings us to the end of this first part of Virtual Business Forum between Estonia and Poland. After a short break, the bilateral meetings continue. Everyone who has pre-arranged meetings should have received an email with platform joining information. Others can request meetings with companies in a matchmaking area that you can find on a sidebar in the right. If you wish to set up a meeting for a different date and time, I encourage you to contact the companies directly via email addresses that you will find under the profiles in Expo area. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Estonian Ministry of Foreign Affairs Business Diplomacy Division, I would like to thank all colleagues in Warsaw and Tallinn and Global Virtual Solution team for the excellent cooperation, and everybody for joining us today or watching the recording later. Have a wonderful networking, and most important, stay healthy.